So John, when we first met 3 or 4 years ago, you were at the peak of your career in the public sector. I think you've got 33 years sort of behind you, but you were beginning to get an intuition that there may be something else waiting for you on a different horizon. And that's how our conversations first started.
We did indeed. We started to have some conversations perfectly timed, I have to say. For me, I wasn't able to really articulate what I was feeling. I knew that there was something emerging in me that I needed to examine and help me to move on into a very different part of my life. And that's when our conversations began.
So how did the conversations that we had, John, help you with your transition?
Thinking out loud is perhaps not something that people do, but certainly at senior level, they don't often have the permission to do that about themselves. And I think our conversations were about granting me permission and space to have conversations which I didn't really know where they were going to go to begin with. But it allowed me to articulate some of the things that I was beginning to feel inside and to make them real for me.
So one of the things you mentioned, John, was that you felt the coaching conversations were safe and that there was a lot of trust between us. And I often talk, as you know, about safe uncertainty. Every good and generative coaching conversation is about creating a space of safe uncertainty between you and the client, or you and the client and their team as well.
Yes, I think the conversations that we had, some of the ideas, ill-formed and feelings I was beginning to have, you would reflect back to me, you would reframe and help me examine those in a safe way. At very senior level, your opportunity to actually articulate in a very safe environment how you are genuinely feeling is very, very limited. And working with somebody as skilled as yourself that gives you both permission and space to explore some of the ways you're feeling is incredibly powerful. And our conversations, I think, assured me and gave me confidence that this was a safe space.
Yeah. And that's what I call safe uncertainty. You want safety in order to go and explore the uncertain, uncharted waters. And the other thing that I really enjoyed working with you for, you had a real creative streak as well, and we were able to explore that in our work together.
Yes, absolutely. I'd never met anybody before that wove so carefully and cleverly the idea of literature and verse and poetry into the corporate world and corporate thinking. And I certainly resonated with that, and I found myself again given the permission to be more creative in what I was thinking about, what I was beginning to explore, and that was really liberating for me and incredibly helpful in preparing me to look objectively and to make a big transition in my life.
And all the coaching literature talks about the importance of choosing, when you're choosing a coach, obviously they need to speak the language of your business, and there needs to be common territory between you there, and they need to be well qualified and well supervised to make the work safe. But at the end of the day, all the research shows what really matters in a client-coach relationship is the chemistry. And we certainly had that in spades, and that's what made our work so lively and enjoyable and interesting, as well as getting you from A to B to C on your journey as well.
The relationship between the coach and the client is hugely important at every level, but particularly at a senior level. There is a vulnerability. There is a need to ensure that there is a safe place to have that conversation. And for me, it's about trust. It's about building from the chemistry of the relationship that we have and underpinning that with real trust. And once you have that, you have an enormously powerful relationship which allows you to learn and explore in a safe way.
I'm really proud of what you've achieved, John. I'm proud the way you were willing to creatively explore a conversation you weren't too sure you were ready for or where it might take you. But now you've been on that journey, and 3 years later you've stepped out of your marvellous career, into a new space with a new business and a new future. I'm immensely proud of that, and I'm really looking forward to hearing what happens on the next step of your journey.
Thank you, Georgina.